Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the ongoing series where I'm counting down my 100 favorite albums. Again, this is all opinion based. Uh, I've received a lot of good comments so far, and appreciate you all sticking around to watch. Please subscribe if you haven't already, like the video, all that good stuff. I'm really trying to push to get to 550 subscribers just because it looks good. So, anyway, this is going to be albums 70 to 61. Again, kind of a wide array of genres here. So I'm just going to jump right into it, starting with Rounder Records number 0044. This is J.D. Crowe and the New South, one of the greatest progressive bluegrass albums made, possibly the greatest. Just the band in itself, if you know who these guys are, you know. You have J.D. Crowe on the banjo and vocals. You have Tony Rice on acoustic guitar and lead vocals. You have Bobby Sloan on bass. You have Jerry Douglas on the dobro, and then Ricky Skaggs playing mandolin, fiddle, and everything in between. Just a fan. I mean, look, there's young Ricky Skaggs, there's Tony Rice, there's JD, Mr. Sloan, and Jerry Douglas on a few tracks. It's one of those albums, it's known by the serial number. That's why I said rounder number 0044. You have the song Old Home Place, written by the Dillards. You have Rock, Salt, and Nails, Sally Gooden, Nashville Blues, Summer Wages, the Ian Tyson song, I'm Walking, the Fats Domino song, and then Crying Holy Unto the Lord. Just a fantastic record. Get it if you can. All right, number 69. This is, I guess, the first Dylan album on my list here. Jacob Dylan. There you go. This is Bringing Down the Horse, the Wallflowers. It's the second album by the Wallflowers, I believe. Of course, you have Jacob Dylan, the son of Bob, who's essentially running the show. I mean, you've got a bunch of other guys in there too, but the Wallflowers were constantly changing lineups, and just recently put out a new album where Jacob Dylan's the only original member. It's produced by T-Bone Burnett, but you've also got guys on there. You have Matt Chamberlain on there, who is actually currently playing drums with Bob Dylan right now. You have, I think Mike Campbell is on this. Let's see. Jimmy Iovine is thanked in the shout outs. Let's see. Who else is on here? I think Jim Keltner might be on here too. No, he's not. Mike Campbell is on here for sure. Anyway, and David Rawlings is on here as well. Great songs. Their big hit, One Headlight, is on here. They have Three Marlenas, Sixth Avenue Heartache, The Difference, Laughing Out Loud, God Don't Make Lonely Girls. Just great heartland American rock. I was fortunate to have seen the Wallflowers this past spring. Fantastic show. Jacob Dylan, incredible. So that is number 69. Number 68, another classic, Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. This is Elton John's, what many people consider his magnum opus. Of course, now he's on the Farewell Yellow Brick Road tour. But, I mean, this album is just so good. It's incredible how much music Elton John put out in the mid-70s. You have the epic opener, Funeral for a Friend, right into Love Lies Bleeding, which is straight-on progressive rock. You have Candle in the Wind. You have Benny and the Jets. Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. Then you have the first of the real deep cuts with The Song Has No Title, which is a great song. I've seen that movie too. Is a great kind of moody piece. Sweet Painted Lady is kind of like a drinking kind of song. All the Girls Love Alice is a fun song. Your Sister Can't Twist, but She Can Rock and Roll. You have Saturday Night's All Right for Fighting. Just a fantastic double record. Yeah, number 68 for me. Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. Number 67. Beatles for Sale. I like this Beatles album a lot more. And I'm going to go ahead and say I do not have all the Beatles albums on this list. So the fact that this made it on there shows that I like this album better than several of the Beatles albums. It holds a very special place to me emotionally. I distinctly remember the time of my life that I was in listening to this album. And again, it's just a good album. I mean, even though it's not the Beatles at their peak, It's the Beatles at their peak in terms of Beatlemania. That's why they look exhausted on the cover. But you have 8 days a week, No Reply, I'm a Loser, then some great. Well, you have Every Little Thing, which I like a lot. What You're Doing is a fun song. Then you have great covers like I'll Follow this. Oh, excuse me, I'll Follow the Sun's original. I'm sorry. Um, Words of Love is a Buddy Holly song. Honey Don't is fantastic. Everybody's Trying to Be My Baby. Just really good stuff from all four Beatles. So that is number 67. 66, keeping it kind of in the same vein. The Byrds, Younger Than Yesterday. At this point, the Byrds had decreased to a quartet by the after the departure of Gene Clark. You have, just great songs on here. This is the Byrds kind of at their peak as well, in my opinion. So You Want to Be a Rock and Roll Star kicks it off, which of course Tom Petty made his own. Have You Seen Her Face? You've really got Chris Hillman taking the helm on a lot of the writing on this album. Renaissance Fair, which is kind of weird. Time Between, a Chris Hillman track. Everybody's Been Burned, a David Crosby track. My Back Pages, just probably my favorite. It's actually my favorite Byrd song. And then the song Why is on here as well. Just a fantastic jangle rock and roll album. So what is that, 66? 65. From Roger McGuinn to Tom Petty. This is the first Mudcrutch album. Mudcrutch, if you don't know, it was Tom Petty's band before he was in the Heartbreakers. It consisted of the core members of the Heartbreakers, with Petty, Mike Campbell on lead guitar, and Benmont Tench playing the keys. And then it was rounded out by Randall Marsh and Tom Leadon, whose brother is Bernie Leadon of the Eagles. This was their debut. It came out in 2008. This is right around the time that I was getting into Tom Petty. The band regrouped as kind of a side project for Petty, and it's just fantastic. A lot of covers, but also a lot of originals. They're the boys. They have a great version of Shady Grove. They do 6 Days on the Road. Scare Easy, which is an original. Orphan of the Storm is an original. Queen of the Go-Go Girls is a cool sung vocal by Tom Leadon. Oh Maria is a great song. House of Stone, as Tom Petty at his most country. They do a cover of Lover of the Bayou by the Byrds. Fantastic. I love this album. Again, it holds a special place in my heart. That's why it's number 65. Number 64. And again, remember, this is me. So here we go. Led Zeppelin IV. It's an absolute masterpiece of an album. It really is. Again, you could call it a greatest hits if you want. It's got Stairway on it. It's got that killer opener of Black Dog. Misty Mountain Hop is on here, which is, between Misty Mountain Hop and Four Sticks, those are kind of the lower points for me. But then you have the beautiful Going to California, the Battle of Evermore, Rock and Roll. Just, great stuff on there. What can you say? Those four guys were the master of their craft. So, 64. Number 63, this is a group I talk about a lot. This is Lord Huron with their second album, Strange Trails. Lord Huron is they kind of mix country with some atmospheric cinematic music, with maybe a little bit of rockabilly. If you like Chris Isaak, then you'll probably like Lord Huron. They're just a very artsy band, and all of their albums have a feel to them. And some songs on here that stick out: Love Like Ghosts, Dead Man's Hand, Hurricane, Fool for Love is my favorite on the album, Meet Me in the Woods, and then probably the biggest song on here was The Night We Met. I think that was on a TV show or something, or a movie. So check it out. I love this album so much. Just recently got into this album, and it's already in my top 100, beating out the likes of Led Zeppelin and Mudcrutch. So number 62, another classic, Rumors by Pink Floyd. Rumors by Fleetwood Mac. I had to put this album on there. I couldn't say no to it. It's probably lower because it is kind of overdone. It's overplayed, but you can't deny it's a fantastic record. Secondhand News kicks it off. Dreams, the mystic Stevie Nicks feel. My favorite song, Never Going Back Again. Then you have radio hits, Don't Stop and Go Your Own Way with the beautiful Songbird by Christine McVie. Then you have side 2 opening up with The Chain, You Make Lovin' Fun, I Don't Want to Know, which is a fun acoustic track, Oh Daddy, kind of a moody Christine McVie track, and then Gold Dust Woman, Stevie Nicks, one of her biggest hits. So that made it number 62. And number 61, I've got to give my boy John Mayer some props. This is his album Paradise Valley, produced by John Mayer and Don Was. And it's kind of John Mayer taking the reins as like a modern day Bob Dylan, Neil Young, Jackson Brown, kind of that kind of music. Just really good, kind of California rock. It takes you to Laurel Canyon in the 60s. Probably the weaker point on this is there is a small, a tiny little like vignette of a song by Frank Ocean, which is just kind of like a reprise of the title track Wildfire. And he's got a just great country songs like On the Way Home, Badge and Gun. You're Knowing Though Someone Lets You Down is just full on country. Paper Doll is a smooth groove on there. Just please check out this album. I know John Mayer gets a lot of crap, but see, if you like Jackson Brown, if you like Neil Young, please check out Paradise Valley. You won't be disappointed. And that'll do it. That's number 61. I appreciate you all tuning in. Again, subscribe, like, all that good stuff. And I will see you on the next installment. Until then, be good. Take care. Talk to you all real soon. Bye now.